Hi, my name's Nigel and I'm talking to you from the UK. I'm really pleased to be talking to you today because if you're at this event watching this video, you're thinking of studying or working overseas in another country. That's something I've done, both studying and working in another country for a large part of my life, and I've loved it. It's not always simple, it's not always good, but as a whole, it's an amazing experience and something that will stay with you for many, many years to come after you've left. I left the US in 2001 and have been based back in the UK for the last 20 years, and I still look fondly back on those years in the States and in my previous years in Asia and actually in Brazil, where I lived for a while. What I'd like to do is take you on a little journey through my life, my experiences, in the hope that some of that will resonate with you and will be able to help you make your decisions and to do some of the things that I think are really important to do. So, when I was 16 and I was studying in high school, and probably some of you are that age now and thinking of going to study overseas, life was easy. It was okay for me. I was doing okay. And then my results came from my 16 tests, from the 16-year-old tests that are taken here in the UK, and they were all Bs. So not bad, but not good enough to really do some of the things that I wanted to do. So I spent the next 2 years of my life working and studying really hard, and I changed the Bs to As. And as a result, I was able to go to Cambridge University to study my degree. And I spent 3 years at Cambridge University for my degree, and I graduated and then joined a company called Unilever. And I chose Unilever because it was the most international of all the companies I knew. And the results of joining Unilever, I was posted to 5 different countries. I spent some time in Brazil, I spent some time in Amsterdam, in Holland, and in Hamburg in Germany. And I also spent 2 years in Indonesia and 1 year in Thailand. In all of those times, I focused my attention on learning the language as well as enjoying it and working hard and all of those great things. So, let me take my time in Campinas as an example. I was posted there for 3 months. I was 22 years old. I didn't know anyone. I worked at a factory site. And so I tried to concentrate on learning Brazilian Portuguese, or Portuguese really for me, because that was the textbook I had. And I used a cassette tape. I used books. But what really helped me was I would come home from work and I would watch the news on TV, and I would start to recognize more and more words, and I would start to get more and more familiar. And I was working in a factory site, so a lot of the people that I was dealing with were not able to speak English very well at all. And so I stumbled through my Portuguese, and it gradually got better, but I really focused on it. And what I learned, the most important lesson of all, is that being able to communicate with people just changes your life. It makes everything better. It makes the work environment better, the study environment better. It makes social life so much better. And it means that you can build friendships for the rest of your life. And it's that learning which has got me into the world I am today, which is to teach English digitally. So I founded Really English in 2001, and we have been a long-term partner of Hubb Academy. And it is our vision, if you like, to make English fully achievable, fully accessible, and fully affordable to as many people as we can. Because that will mean that they can enjoy some of the things that I was able to enjoy living overseas. Obviously, as a native English speaker, I have great advantages in that I can communicate with people because everyone's kind of learning English in some way. But whenever I went to a country, I always tried to learn the language. So I'm afraid it's long forgotten, but I was able to speak reasonably good Portuguese, or okay Portuguese. I could get by the time I left Campinas after 3 months. In Hamburg, I'd studied German for a while, and I was able to get up to a good level in German. I've also lived in France and can speak good French. Indonesia, I was really quite good at Indonesian. I had 2 years to learn it, so that was an advantage. And the only place I failed in was Thailand. I just couldn't get the tonal language, the Thai tonal language. But if you make an effort to study, and if you make an effort to speak the language, then it has massive advantages for you all over the place. And English, of course, is much more important than really any other language, because it allows you to travel around the world and make friends because everyone speaks some kind of English. And I want to reinforce that. It's not a question of just getting by in English. To really make the most of great opportunities, you need to really study English and become good at it. And I'm afraid that's just hard work. But I promise you, if there's nothing else you take away from this video, please take away the fact that if you can get to being good at English, it will change your life, it will be with you forever, and it will constantly change your life. It will constantly improve things for you. You will make more friends, you will get better jobs, you will get more interesting projects, you will study more effectively. So as you think about your careers and as you think about your university choices, please think about making sure that your English is absolutely as best it can possibly be. And the way that we look at it in Really English and Hubb Academy is that we want you to be as good in English as you are in Portuguese. Now, that's not going to happen. It's not possible. It's too difficult. But let's set that as a vision. And let's say that we want you to be able to do as well academically in English as you're doing academically in Portuguese. If you can achieve that, then you'll do really well wherever you choose to study around the world. And that is our vision, that's our mission, if you like. And going back to my life and my experiences, the fact that I was in Campinas for 3 months, the fact that I was in Hamburg, the fact that I was in Indonesia for 2 years in Jakarta, in Bangkok for a year, and because I'd worked at my academics, those then gave me the opportunity to do my Masters of Business Administration. And I chose to do that in the States, and I went to Harvard for 2 years. And it was because I wanted to live outside of the UK. Of course, English is easy for me, so going to the US was easy. Although you still find that culturally, Americans and Brits are different. But it was a great experience to be able to go and study for 2 years in Boston with a lot of American friends and a lot of friends from all over the world. And some of those languages I could speak and some I couldn't speak. But it was an amazing experience, and it's what really got me into this business of teaching English digitally. So I graduated from Harvard in 2001, and that's when I started this business. And as I said, it was really my vision to make English possible for everybody. Because I understand the value of being able to communicate in terms of the work you do, in terms of the studying you do, and in terms of the friends you make, the experiences you have. Living overseas can be a lonely experience, but if you can speak the language, it's not. Because everyone wants to speak with you. You're interesting. You've got experiences which are different to theirs, and they've got experiences which are different to yours. And that makes for an interesting and worthwhile conversation. So while you think of your planning, and I realize that there's so much to do and so much studying to be done, please focus and think about your English. Maybe you can get reasonable qualifications. Maybe you can get IELTS 6 or 6.5, or you can get a good score in TOEFL. But you really have to also focus on what it is you're going to need to do for your degree. And we have a lot of experience in dealing with universities in Canada, in the US, and in the UK, where students arrive because they have the qualification they need, but actually their English isn't good enough for them to really benefit from living in the country and working and studying in the country. And they need to make significant improvements over and above just being able to talk a little bit, just being able to go out for a restaurant and have a nice time. There is a level of English which is beyond that. And I would urge you to really think about that and to really kind of study it, because I promise you, you will never regret it. It's not great fun, and I'm sorry, learning a language isn't great fun, but it has massive positive implications and benefits for you in your later life. And I can say that as someone who's learnt a lot of other languages. I always feel really good when I'm in France and I'm able to speak French, and people will talk to me much more openly because I'm talking to them in their language and they're comfortable doing that, and it's easy for them to do that. And English, of course, is that much more powerful because you can use it all over the world. And once you get to a level of fluency where it's easy for you, you'll never look back and you'll always have it. My problem with my Portuguese, my Brazilian Portuguese, is that it was never that good. So 10 years after I left Brazil, it's kind of now gone. And I've left Brazil 25 years ago, so it's really long gone. But I hear Portuguese and I think to myself, maybe I can come back to me. Maybe it'll come back to me. And I want it to, because there's such a benefit of being able to communicate with people easily in their language. So, first of all, many congratulations on being at this event, on thinking about these things. It is an extraordinary opportunity, I promise you, and one you'll never regret. I hope you go forward. I hope you look at studying in Canada or perhaps somewhere else, but overseas, because the benefits will be with you for life. And I hope what this does is spur you to really focus on your English and really focus on doing that well. And as I say, Really English is here, Hubb Academy, we've known them a long time, it's a long-term partnership, we're great friends. But there are other places to learn English as well, and I don't want to knock that. You know, the key thing for you is to find what's right for you and to study hard, because you will never regret it. It will be one of the great things you've done. And I remember when I was 16, thinking this was easy, I didn't have to worry. But then I did think about it and I did get myself sorted out and I did focus on my studies. And that's meant that I've had a life where I've been able to live in 8 different countries, where I've been able to travel to more than 100 countries around the world. I've loved it. I've loved every minute of it. It's not always easy, but you do feel really great doing it and you make great friendships, partnerships, and then the work is really much more interesting than just being at home in a country that you understand and you know. So, thank you for listening to me. I've been talking on far too long, but it is an amazing thing. Please go ahead and do it and enjoy it. And thank you very much. Bye.
Rádio Você do Canadá.